Good morning. My name is Carolina Gilcapi. I'm the owner of Sade Adventures, and we specialize in the Galapagos. I'm super excited about your trip that you wanted to plan around the holidays. There are so many different opportunities in the islands, and here is just one option. Let me run through it with you so you kind of understand the logistics, how everything works. I'm going to share my screen, and you'll be able to see this PDF that I have shared with you. So this particular trip will focus on arrival in Quito and then heading straight to the islands and then doing some mainland activities at the end. So let me show you how it would work. December 26th, you're going to arrive, and a lot of the flights will arrive at 5 p.m. Some of them arrive late at night. So depending on where you're coming from, we will adjust. But there is a hotel near the airport called La Palma Polo. There is also a hotel right in the airport. So if you're arriving at 11 p.m., we're going to switch to the airport hotel because it makes more sense. Why travel to and from if we're leaving the next morning? But if you have the afternoon, if you're arriving at 5 p.m., perfect. We're going to take you to this gorgeous hotel. It kind of runs like a country club, and then you can have a nice dinner here, unwind, and prepare for the islands that are happening tomorrow. So December 27th, our private guide, the same guide that would have picked you up the day before, will come back in the morning, usually after breakfast, and will take you back to the airport and will help you with all the Galapagos logistics. So you're going to get your flights, you're going to get your ID cards, you're going to get your permits to enter, you're going to go through customs, you're going to check your luggage, your shoes. It's a lot of steps, and we have a Galapagos assistant right at the airport to make sure you are well cared for along the way. And once you take your flight, it's about 2.5 hours to get to the islands. You're going to arrive in San Cristobal. It is one of the 3 islands that has a village on it. We're going to pick you up, have a driver take you to your hotel, and you're going to check in. That way, when you're arriving, you can have your welcome lunch. You can kind of unwind in the village. And then in the afternoon, I want you to right away get into some kind of activity, have a nice welcome to the islands. So I'm thinking a kayaking, snorkeling expedition would be the best idea here because you can, get in the water and really feel like you're in the islands. But of course, we can switch this to biking, or we can switch this to a plantation tour. We can tweak these things along the way. The things that we cannot tweak are your dates and availability of the hotels. This is peak season, not only because it's the holidays and everyone is traveling, but because December, January, February, these are peak weather months. The water is very calm, the water is very warm, so it's very popular to visit the islands. We chose the Hotel Indigo for you. 2 rooms are available, partial ocean view. It's one of the newest hotels in the islands, very nice, has a pool, is on the water, great place to be. So you can explore, you can go on excursions, but you always come back to this hub and do all your activities from there. So we're going to stay all of the nights in the islands at this hotel, and every day I've arranged activities for you. So let's run through some of the activities so you understand how it works. The BLD, that stands for the meals that are included in the package. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, however you would like. If you want all the meals included, just let me know, and we arrange restaurants and arrange hotel meals, things like that along the way. I like to include some meals and leave some at your discretion, because some nights you want to just explore the town, go for a slice of pizza. Other nights you want to go for a nice dinner. So it's nice to have options and different ways to explore the islands. If you are in the middle of nowhere somewhere, then we suggest including the meals because you're going to have to eat there anyway. So we're going to do Interpretation Center and the Frigate Hill. This is a really great location for birding, for all the species that live on San Cristobal. Every day you'll be able to get into the water. So at Frigate Bell, you will do some snorkeling. We always provide the equipment, and this is private. So the 4 of you with your own guide, he will get to know you, get to see, what your likes and dislikes are. Maybe you have a bucket list of things, and then you can work together to cross those things off. And then twice during your excursion, you're going to leave San Cristobal on a boat, on a day yacht, and go to other islands. Because the whole idea of going to the Galapagos is to see as many islands as possible. So on December 29th, you have breakfast at your hotel, and then you're going to go off for the full day with a boat with 16 people. So 16 is kind of like a magical number in the Galapagos. That is how many maximum people can go with a guide onto a site. So once you arrive, this will just be the 16 of you. And the day yachts are really wonderful. I've done a number of them. I've been to the Galapagos many times. I've been to Ecuador 7 times. So I know the islands. I inspect all kinds of different day yachts, hotels, experiences to make sure that you have some opportunities. And so the way that it works is that you go out on the boat, like the bus picks you up, takes you to the port, you get on the day yacht. It's for 16 people plus all the staff plus the guide. And then you go to at least one site where you get off, go for a hike. There'll be an opportunity every time to get into water, snorkel, go to the beach, things like that. And you get lunch on board, which is a really nice experience, especially during December when the water is so calm. So Punta Pete is one of the sites that the boats go to. So you will see that on this particular day. And then I try to balance it where you're not on a boat every day if you're doing a island-based itinerary. So the following day, instead of going back to the port and getting on another boat, you're going to focus on sites on San Cristobal. So the large turtle plantation and sites where we can go hiking. You know, there's a lot of volcanic activity here. So really wonderful balance of being on the water, but also on land, because the joy of the Galapagos Islands really is to see as many different flora and fauna experiences and see, you know, white sand, black sand, go to lava, go to a green, lush plantation. It's really nice to see this combination. And you can definitely do that just from this portion of the archipelago. So December 31st, another boat tour, another day yacht. This one will either go to Kicker Rock or Española, and we can discuss that, which one you would prefer. So Kicker Rock is more for snorkeling, diving, amazing view. It's very famous in the Galapagos. This is the Kicker Rock. And Española Island is known for hundreds and hundreds of sea lions that live there. Really wonderful white sand, blue water, great also for snorkeling, but this snorkeling allows you to go in from the sand. So maybe if you are more experienced, Kicker Rock would fit your group better. But both options will allow you to walk on land, go on a hike, and then also do some water activities, lunch on board. Then you return to the island for New Year's Eve. It's lots of festive activities happen in the villages around the island, so I'm sure you will enjoy that. And then the following day, we're going to leave that morning empty because it's New Year's Day. You're going to sleep in, you're going to have a nice breakfast at the hotel. And then in the afternoon, we're going to go biking. And biking in the Galapagos is really exciting because this photo that I put in here is something that happens every time you're out on a bike. You will see giant tortoises crossing the road, and just life in the islands go by as you cruise around. So it's a really nice way, because a lot of the experiences when you're out on the boats, you're sitting, you're watching, but this is very active. So I highly suggest it, and it's quite easy. It's hilly, but it's not strenuous at all. So after all of those days in the Galapagos, we will fly you back to Quito. And now it's 2025. It's a new year. The city is going back to their routine after the holidays. So it's a really nice time to explore because there's going to be less people at the sites. So Plaza Grande Hotel, when you arrive in Quito, that is where we will stay for a few nights. I love this property. It's really well located, right in the main square. It's an all historical building. They take care of my clients really well. So I really enjoy this property. And we're going to be there for 3 nights. So the first day is your arrival, and you know, we can go out for a nice dinner. The second day is we're going to see the best of Quito, right? So we're going to have lunch at the equator and go see the equator itself and do the experiments and have a chocolate tasting and see the old town and go to all the different sites. It's a really wonderful, colorful city, and it's really nice to explore it with a local guide so you can get some stories behind it as well. And then on January 4th, I thought it would be really fun to take you out of the city and go south down the Avenue of the Volcano to Cotopaxi. This is a national park, but it's also an active volcano, and it's also a home to lots of haciendas, which are local ranches. So here we can go horseback riding, hiking to a lagoon. It's really a nice active day, but scenic as well. So for photography, for cultural experiences, because you'll see local indigenous communities along the way, and you'll have a traditional Ecuadorian lunch on the ranch here before coming back to Quito. And now for your last 2 nights, I think it will be really wonderful to head north to Otavalo. Otavalo is the largest indigenous market in South America, but it's also just a really thriving community of different indigenous populations that kind of barter with each other and really work with each other in this part of the country. It's filled with lakes and mountains and greenery and little villages that focus on different things. So there's one village that only does leather and another village that only does carved wood and things like that. So really interesting to experience. And up here in Otavalo, there's also these haciendas, which are local ranches. And Zuleta is one of our favorite ones. It is so spectacularly done. It is like a luxury hacienda, which is really unique to say because farm and luxury usually don't go together, but they do here. So you would arrive in Otavalo, you will see the sites of the markets and all the different villages and things like that. And you will spend a night here in Zuleta. For 2 nights. As you see, it's a really beautiful property. And they have their own horses, and they're by waterfalls, and there's farmland everywhere, and you will hear cows. So it's a perfect combination of everything. And then the next day, the guides will take you out to see the sites of Otavalo. So the local communities, the lakes, the villages, all of that, with a beautiful lunch. And of course, all the dinners will be at Zuleta. And if you love cheese, they produce their own cheese here, and it's kind of famous in Ecuador, and you will get to see where that is done. So really wonderful experience. This is just one of the lakes up there. And then after that, January 7th, we take you to the airport and you fly home. So that is your experience for a party of 4, a private trip. Of course, it's just one option. I am working on some other versions for you, just so you kind of get some comparisons being on a cruise versus doing it by island hopping. But let me know your thoughts. I look forward to having you travel with us. Happy travels.